Most Russian cooking is extremely simple, being mostly boiled or pan-fried, or some shredded raw ingredients mixed together with vegetable oil or packaged sauce, especially mayonnaise. Such quintessential peasant food is difficult, if not impossible, to transform into a restaurant-worthy dish, because as soon as you add spices or complicate it in any way, it's no longer authentic or even recognizable. This is one of the rare exceptions, as I've explained in the text at the start of this video.
I have a pan that's completely cold. I want you to see the thickness of the potatoes. They're approximately evenly cut. Actually measuring out the amount of water to use and the salt. Don't just approximate it, actually measure it so that it comes out the same every time. Now I'm going to turn up the heat and put a lid on it. When it actually comes to a boil, you put the lid on it and begin counting the time.
Drain the potatoes, just leave them stand at room temperature. They'll finish cooking from the residual heat.
You get the oil already measured out, the garlic cloves, salt. Now, you want to use good, heavy, dense rye bread for this, not like the cheap Ora wheat kind of stuff. And you're going to cut this into cubes. And get these giant croutons. Garlic oil with them. Let them soft this up.
You need to cook these slowly and evenly. They'll take over 10 minutes to cook if you do it properly, maybe 15. Turn them with your fingers if you can possibly stand the heat. That way you can tell by touch which side is crisp and where it needs the more cooking. Move the ones that need the most cooking to the center of the pan, of course. When they start feeling crisp, turn the heat way down, like to 2, and let them cook for another 5 minutes. When they're finally evenly cooked, set them aside in a bowl and leave them at room temperature until we're ready for
This quality bacon that's in a big piece. We're going to cut this up into big cubes. The first step is to get a little color on this bacon. We're not looking to really get it super crisp. That's not what this sort of dish is about. But we've got enough. I'm going to add a little bit of oil. Let's give it another minute or 2 here. I want to make sure this oil is flavored with the bacon mostly. While that's going on, we have this Russian version of a German sausage that it claims that it's made with ham and flavored with mustard. I don't know of any actual German sausage, at least not any well-known sausage that's that way, but Russians often have a funny idea about what cuisine in other nations tastes like. This is really good. It's lightly smoked. You can use any sausage you want. Lightly smoked pork. Okay, now we add sausage. You want to get some color on this sausage. The exact amount that you add, it's up to you. If you're wealthy, you add more. If you're poor, you add very little, obviously. In just 2 or 3 minutes more, and I've got the heat still on fairly low setting. It's 3.5 out of 1 to 10. The key to this whole thing is heat management and the timing of when you put things in. You want to saute these potatoes in the oil, get some nice color on them, but we can't have the sausage black by the time we're done. So we have to keep the heat low and watch the point at which you add each of these ingredients. Now, next thing here is we're going to add some seasoning mix to the potatoes. You can use dried herbs. I have my own mixture, but this is a rather complicated mixture using ingredients that aren't easy to get. So you could just use Mrs. Dash or whatever suits you. I'll explain more about the seasoning mix in my next cookbook. You don't want to stir this around too much. You'll never get a chance for the potatoes to get nice color on them. But after 5 or 6 minutes, flip everything around. And you can feel the potatoes starting to get some crispness to the surface, which is what you want. Now, I'm going to add a little sliced onion in here. And a few juniper berries. And after a couple more minutes, I'm stirring it around to get the onion onto the bottom of the pan. And now I'm going to add some of these rye croutons that we made earlier. Start cooking those together with this. I want them on the bottom because they'll burn. Okay. You want them to pick up the flavor and warm back up again, of course. Wait about 3 more minutes. This is the last addition to this. I'm going to add the dill. I'm going to put a lid on it to kind of steam the dill a little bit. And after just a couple minutes, now I'm going to crank up the heat for just the last minute and a half. I'm cranking up the heat all the way, still leaving the lid on, and then I'm going to serve it.
If you like my videos, look for my cookbook, now available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other internet bookseller sites. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.